Hey peeps! Welcome back to my channel. First of all, I'd like to thank you all so much for supporting my channel. If this is your first time here, please consider joining the peeps aka change makers by subscribing to my channel and turning on your post notifications so that you can join the party. On Thursday, which was the 24th of September, South Africans celebrated National Heritage Day. This is the day which South Africans are supposed to use to embrace their cultural heritage. I want you to focus the part where I'm saying South Africans are supposed to, because it appears that some South Africans are not really using this day to embrace their cultural heritage, and this is the reason why I'm making this video, and this is what I'm going to focus on today, because I feel given the fact that we are given a day to embrace our cultural heritage and take pride in the cultural diversity of our country, we ought to do so. On Thursday, which was Heritage Day, I posted a message in my social media platforms. If you don't follow me there yet, please consider following me at @Peeps for Instagram, Facebook, as well as Twitter. This message was dedicated mainly to people that are living in the cities, because here you find some of the people that I mentioned earlier who turned not to embrace their cultural heritage, especially on Heritage Day. This is especially to people living in cities. Our reality is a world where certain cultural groups have more power than the other. If you can't beat them, join them. Do so. But I dare you not to forget your cultural heritage. There is a lot of value in your own cultural heritage. I challenge you this Heritage Day to reflect on the importance of having your own cultural heritage. Your children will thank you. My wish is to see different cultural groups learning from each other's cultures and embracing diversity. You find some people on Heritage Day, especially people in the cities, going and doing activities that are not necessarily a resemblance of their cultural heritage. An example here is when you find people joining in with the braaiing. There's nothing wrong with braaiing, I must say. I personally enjoy bride meat, but I will not present bride meat to my children or to my family on Heritage Day, simply because braaiing, it's not my cultural heritage. Braaiing does not represent who I am. But because I believe in the creation of unity in society, I will not tell people to stop braaiing altogether. Braaiing is a nice activity to use to get people together and celebrate and have fun, but I just want people not to substitute celebrating their cultural heritage on Heritage Day and braai instead. Because if braaiing does not represent your cultural heritage or who you are as a person, then I think you should think twice before you focus on braaiing on that day only. So you can braai, but I want you to then have your traditional food on the side. Go on and braai wearing your traditional clothes and teach your children how to cook your traditional food and what is the meaning behind the food, behind the attire. Tell them about traditional dances and how you grew up and the importance of cultural heritage altogether. Well, if you're not sure of the importance of cultural heritage, then the more reason you should watch this video till the end. I am now going to unpack some of the points which will remind you of the importance of having cultural heritage. So, having a cultural heritage, it's really more like having an identity, knowing who you are, knowing where you come from. And these are very important aspects in life to consider as a person. You need to know who you are, you need to understand where you come from. Once you understand that, then you will be able to stand strong when you're faced with different challenges in the world, because first of all, you will not be lost. The last thing you want in this life is to feel lost and not knowing where you belong. So by eliminating cultural heritage, you tend to just mingle around and not really certain where you belong, especially now that we are living in a world where there's so many cultures. And so if you don't stand firm and identify yourself as a person belonging to a certain culture or a certain group with certain beliefs and norms, then you just find yourself lost. South Africans experienced difficult times in the past, and this way the periods of colonial period as well as apartheid. And these periods really ensured that South Africans believe that they're inferior. So that inferiority mindset was instilled within South Africans, particularly black people. And this period successfully instilled the inferiority mindset within black people, because at that time black people did not have the power. In other words, we actually did not have the rights. So we do not have the rights to do anything. So now you are given public holidays such as National Heritage Day, which is dedicated to embrace the cultural diversity in the country. And this includes your culture as well, because we have so many cultures, and so it includes everybody in South Africa. Every culture is included, and so you're supposed to embrace it on that day. Then you decide and go and do an activity that it's not even linked to your traditional activities, it's not even linked to your cultural heritage. This is really sad, because now you're supposed to own your rights. You're given the rights which you never had in the past. So now you're given the ability to have a voice and say, this is who I am, this is my identity, I stand strong, and if I know who I am, I'll be able to survive anything that the world throws at me. I will not feel lost like I felt lost during colonial and apartheid period. The point I'm trying to make here is that when you are told that you are inferior, you even lose touch with yourself. You even forget who you are. You don't know your identity. You don't even feel like it's even worth it to celebrate your culture, because your culture is looked down on. So now you are given the freedom to embrace your culture, and then you decide to do otherwise. That is really sad, and that has to stop. Why I feel this has to stop is that you need to also look at the generations to come. You need to look at your children. Do you want your children to not know where they come from? Like I said earlier, cultural heritage allows one to know who they are, to hold on to their identity, and so it gives you a sense of identity. The other reason is cultural heritage gives you a sense of belonging, and this is very, very important. I want to give an example here with my daughter. So she grew up in a village where she was exposed to the Venda culture. She stayed there until she was 7 years old. And then I decided to move her from that village, and I brought her to the city to stay with me in the city. And so she's been staying with me here since she was 7 years old, and now she is 13 years old. Do you think if every National Heritage Day I decide to go and do activities that are not related to my tradition, let's say I do activities like braaiing without bringing along my culture, without wearing my traditional attire, without cooking my traditional food, without telling her stories about the Venda culture that she was exposed to since she was young, and without just reminding her why it's important to have a cultural heritage. Do you think she was going to be able to understand, or to know rather, that she belongs to the Venda culture? I think she was gonna feel lost. I think she was just gonna get so confused that how come when she was growing up she was exposed to certain ways of doing things, and that is the Venda culture, and then I brought her to the city. Now all of a sudden she's no longer exposed to any of the things that she was exposed to as far as the Venda culture is concerned, and now she's exposed to the city life with Braai and all sort of modern things taking place. Do you think because we do go and visit the village, so do you think when she arrived there, was she ever going to feel like she belonged there? She was gonna lose that sense of belonging. She was not gonna be able to relate to her great-grandparents. She was not gonna be able to relate to her friends. And so I want to do justice and make sure that she knows where she comes from and that she belongs to a certain group, and these are people that share the same beliefs, the same values. And so she needs to hold that strong, because that is going to help her going forward. Like I said earlier on, my wish is to really see South Africans embrace their cultural heritage, especially on Heritage Day, where we come together and appreciate our differences and teach each other about our cultures. And that way we can learn from each other and we can establish a common ground where this way there could be unity in our society. But I don't want to forget those South Africans who truly believe in their cultural heritage, where they understand the meaning of National Heritage Day. And so congratulations to you, and I want you to continue doing so, and not only on National Heritage Day, but the way you live your life. Make sure that your children do not lose a sense of belonging, that your children do not lose a sense of identity. So thank you so much for doing that, and I'm sure your children will also thank you one day. So if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I would like to thank you all for supporting my channel by subscribing to it, by watching the videos and liking as well as commenting. This really means a lot to me, and I'm sure the people that the channel is touching will also appreciate what you're doing for my channel. So thank you all so much, and if you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing, because your support will surely go a long way. Well, this is it for today, and I will see you all next week Saturday, and take care. Bye.